And this new episode starts right now, right where we left off, because I can't wait to find out what happens next. We have together now another half an hour, and I hope something will be revealed or something good is happening. I long for something happiness now, right now. And I'm sorry for my ranting. I do feel better, and as I walk a few laps to cool down, I begin to remember last night in a slightly less emotional manner. Amy wants me to stay distant from her. Nope! I can't bring myself to do so. You're dumb thing? There's got to be a way around this. Some kind of middle ground I can reach. Not sure what that middle ground is though. Damn, I was almost feeling optimistic. Nice one, Hiso. You've really improved. Nice one. That's all I can hope for now, isn't it? Congratulations, Hiso. You're pathetic. Yeah, you're pathetic. Wow, this is the one line I agree with you. I gotta change my attitude. Well, you know, I'm pretty awesome. Oh, we are playing at this now. And yet, I just keep saying things that I don't mean. Any second now, I'll be as good at hiding my problems as Amy is. I like to think though. Oh. Why does she do this to me? Say something like that with such real affection in her voice that it makes my heart leap. She's honest. She doesn't mean it. She can't. Of course! How dumb is this guy? I must be doing a worse job than I thought, because Amy peers closely at me. Hey, you feeling okay? Maybe we should go to the nurse, huh? Yeah, I'd hate to keel over on you. Amy looks a little shocked at my bitter tone. Oh god, I really hit the note without even wanting to. My voice sounds angry because I'm angry at Hiso and not about what he thinks. This has to be about angry. Don't say things like that. You've already done it once before, you know? Why does she act so affectionate? Because she loves you. Just because she don't want to burden her stuff on you doesn't mean that she doesn't love you, man. Why can't you understand? She doesn't really care. I thought she made that clear. No, but despite all of that, I find myself apologizing, even though I shouldn't have to. Even though she's probably just putting on an act. This hurts so much right now you can't imagine, or maybe you can if you watched up until this point. Sorry. Come on, let's see the nurse. Can't get myself to calm down the whole time. Every time it feels like I've gotten over what happened last night. Amy does something or says something that shows affection and I'm back to the beginning. The image of her ending that conversation haunts me. It was like the final twist of the knife that left me feeling bereft of any hope that Amy and I could be more than what we are. A loving couple? And what are we at this point? Little more than friends who happen to fuck. Do you really think like that? And really, it's not like I don't enjoy the time I spent with her. Said so the other day myself. I very nearly didn't even bring anything up with her. Was just gonna hop on in there and let it ride, wasn't I? Wait, really? You feel like you're just fuck buddies? That's a strange thing to look at things. With this running through my head, I find myself in front of the nurse's office, still brooding as he checks out Amy. Amy comes bounding out of the door, gives me a kiss and darts off to shower, I assume. Meanwhile, the nurse beckons me into his office to give me the ritual once-over. Any problems today? No, I even pushed it a little harder today than I have in the past, and I seemed able to handle it. That's uncharacteristically whiskey coming from you, Hiso. You've been hanging out with Amy too much. She's swapped off on you, and not necessarily in a good way. Why are you smiling like that? It really creeps me out a little bit. At the mention of Amy's name, I can't help but frown unhappily in spite of my efforts at control. Well now, this is new, don't you think? Last I checked, your usual response to Amy's name was a grin, not a frown. What exactly happened between you two? Because Amy doesn't seem to be in on it, whatever it is. She looked more relaxed than I've seen her in weeks, which is unusual for this time of the year. What do you mean by that? By what? For this time of the year, I keep trying to find out what's been bothering her, but she clams up as soon as I broach the subject. See? I told you! He is helping her by being there for her, by making it clear that he wants to help, and he doesn't realize it. Why am I really the only one who sees like that? I don't think so. I'm not alone with this, am I? Then last night she said, let me guess, she won't tell you because she says she can't trust you. And now you're crushed because you thought that the two of you were so much more than she seems to think, right? More or less. Wow, that's surprising. How the heck did you know? Hiso, I'm the nurse. It's my job to know these things. Plus, I've known Amy for long enough to know that she'd try to do something like this. It's just like her. He says this in the sort of half-affectionate, half-frustrated tone that would seem more appropriate if he had a cigarette dangling from his lips. As it is, he seems willing to make do with the pen. I open my mouth to respond, but a knocking sound at the door interrupts me. Hey, you guys still in there? Just a moment, Amy. Give us a second to get our pants back on. Yes! You made my day! You made my day! Oh, that innuendo! The innuendo is coming! Yes! Finally a laughter of me. I hope it's not... Yes! Thank you, nurse. It's really a pity that you are only called nurse. The door bursts open and Amy glares knives at the nurse. Asshole! Didn't mean to get your hopes up. The nurse is the most awesome guy here, and I thought Kenji is awesome. Oh, this is great. Hey, can we leave me out of this? Anyway, what's up, Amy? Forget something? I try to take a more cheerful tone with her. No need to upset her. Two can play the everything's fine game. Actually, I forgot to ask you something. Oh, what's that? Do you want to come with me on a trip to my house? Hiso, I hope you realize right now that you are dumb as hell. My mom's making dinner, and I thought you might want to join us. Well, of course I accept. Amy punches the nurse in the arm playfully. Not you, idiot! You were over last week. I was talking to Hiso. Oh, how interesting. Meeting the parent. Oh, how interesting. Meeting the parent. See? I'd love to go, Amy. Thanks. The nurse raises an eyebrow, but says nothing. Great! I'll be in my room. Swing by after your shower and change into something clean, and we'll grab the bus. Sounds good. I see you in a bit. This time it's me who leans in for a quick kiss before darting off to my room. What an interesting development. Did you realize now that you are important, that you are getting closer to her? I freaking called it. Didn't I call it? I said he's helping her, and she didn't mean it like he interpreted it. Oh, I feel so good right now. Thanks, nurse. Maybe we are getting closer after all. Thanks! You are dumb as hell, but you are kind of adorable. No, you're not adorable while doing that. You are quite a douche. Maybe Amy's finally ready to open up a little. Oh, she opens up all the time. She shares well, I think she shared a lot. Or maybe she's just being polite. And the free meal seems like a good way to apologize for last night. You are dumb as hell. Great, now I can't decide whether to be excited, nervous, or depressed. Oh, you are dumb as hell. I settle for a combination of all three and hop in the shower. We're going on. Don't you worry. It's only about 12 minutes in. Whoa. I don't think I like riding on buses. Actually, I think I'm pretty comfortable saying that as a fact. They sway a lot and they smell funny, and you can feel every bump in the road. I'm really not looking forward to this. Plus, Amy's legs keep making a clanking noise that draws the attention of everyone else on the bus. And that's a problem because she's in shorts again, and she's got long socks drawn up on her prosthetics so they don't look so obviously false again. But that doesn't stop the odd look or two every time her legs bump together with an audible clunk. I shift nervously in my seat, and Amy raises an eyebrow questioningly. She doesn't seem to mind the stares. Either that, or she doesn't even notice that people are staring. Why are you noticing it? You should have your eyes on her, and don't be so troubled by your dumb thoughts in your head. You're maybe a brilliant, smart guy, which can achieve any education you want and any well-paid job and anything. But if it comes to girls, you are as hopeless as any dude. You are even worse than that. I'm sure she's gotten her fill of odd looks before. After a certain amount of time, I doubt she'd notice any more. Not that she'd ever tell me if I ask. Another fact is, I'm not just uncomfortable about the boss. I can't seem to come to terms with the fact that Amy appears to be trying to bring me closer, while at the same time pushing me away. Everyone has their fine share of secrets. And you, as her boyfriend, should respect that. If the time is right. And I'm quite positive that the time will come if you are just patient and reassure that you are there for her. She will open up one day. Meeting the parents is a big deal, right? Not that I haven't already met Amy's mother, but that was just no acquaintance. Parents, you know that her father is dead, right? Doesn't he know? Doesn't he really not know yet that the father is dead? Now it's going to be as Amy's boyfriend, with everything that implies. I can feel my heart pounding in my chest, an echo of that snow-covered afternoon that feels like it was so long ago that it might as well be another life entirely. Except then, I didn't know what was going on. I also didn't have medication to help prevent things spiraling out of control. I've come a long way in terms of my physical health, and for the second time today, I feel like I'll be able to live normally now, or at least as normally as possible. Now, if I only could manage my relationship as well as I've managed my heart, I'd be in great shape. Oh, the air is coming into my mouth. Oh, she looks so cute. Well, we're here. Amy grabs my hand as soon as we stepped off the bus. She starts heading down the street almost immediately. Come on, we've got a couple blocks until my place. What? Okay. I follow Amy down the streets, watching her confidence stride. She's setting kind of a quick pace for just a walk. I guess she's anxious to get there. So, does your mom do this sort of thing often? Nah, not too frequently. Mom's never been much for playing hostess. Oh yeah? Yeah, my dad was always the one pushing her to have people over. Oh, sorry, I forgot to put on the voice. This sudden and unprompted reference to her father catches me off guard. And from the look on Amy's face, I'm not sure she meant to mention him. I think I've only ever heard her talk about him once. All I remember is that Amy's mom told me that he wasn't around anymore. I knew it. That's where I knew it from. I know more about his girlfriend than he does. And I'm even in time skips and he has her around all the time. So what does it tell you? Oh, that I have a smart brain? Yeah, I kind of... No, it's not really smart. But I can memorize only unimportant things. That's my weakness. If I have to learn for something specific, I can't remember shit. But if it's something like games and stories and everything that interests me and excites me, I soak it in like a sponge. Oh, your mom prefers solitude? Amy laughs either from relief that I didn't ask about her father or from finding my statement actually funny. Not at all. She's why I'm such an outgoing person, you know? She just prefers to be a guest rather than a hostess. It's less stressful that way, or she says. Clearly she's never had to meet her girlfriend's mother for dinner. Amy giggles again and speaks in a teasing tone. Nervous, Hiso? You shouldn't be, you know? It's not that a big deal. Just dinner at my house, that's all. Yeah, but have you ever brought home a boyfriend before? I confess that part of me dreads hearing the answer to this. I know very little of Amy's past relationships. I don't even know if there were past relationships. No, I guess I haven't. Hey, maybe this really is kind of a big deal after all. Oh good, now I feel twice as nervous. Though to tell the truth, I'm pretty happy to hear that I'm the first one. Oh yeah, this feeling is... Oh, you can't imagine how great this feeling is. I think at my age it will be pretty hard to find another one who only had one relationship as me. And even one relationship I can't... For some reason it's hard to bear the thought of it. But... yeah, that's why I'm still not really grown up, even if my age would tell you otherwise. Yeah, I should be grown up by this point, but I can't get myself for it to do so. Maybe we've got something special after all. Oh, no shit, Sherlock! Bolstered by this new thought, I've managed to calm down considerably by the time Amy knocks on her front door. Hey Mom, open up! We're here! The door swings open and Mrs. Iwasaki stands grinning at her daughter. The grin is still surprisingly similar to Amy's. Oh, and we know how she looks like when she's grown up. I'm never going to get used to that. You know? Oh fuck, what was her voice? You know, people normally wait for a few minutes before they start shouting at the door. And most mothers say hello to their daughters instead of scolding them right away. Of course. Welcome home, dear. I've missed you. An affectionate hug, later we're inside, and it's only then that Amy's mom seems to remember that I'm actually here. And hello to you too, Hiso. How are you? I'm quite well, thank you. Nice to not have school to worry about for a little bit. Ah, yes. You finished up your exams, haven't you? That must be quite a relief for you both. It's certainly a weight off of my mind, that's for sure. Mine too. I think I slept well for the first time in weeks last night, from relief alone. If this news is a surprise to Amy's mother, she doesn't show it. Still, her response betrays a note of interest. Is that so? I'm very glad to hear that, Amy. You know, I get worried when you get all wound up. About, well, exams. Certainly, Amy's mother knows something. I don't, or whether she doesn't know that Amy's told me about the nightmares. It's interesting being able to observe how Mrs. Ibarasaki covers for Amy. That protective instinct to make sure that I don't know any more than Amy is willing to tell me. I wonder if Mrs. Ibarasaki will figure out that I know about the nightmares, or is she just keeping everything secret from everybody? The nightmares is not only about the accident, you moron. It's about the death of her father too. Yeah, it's not been as bad this year as in the past. Hiso helped me to stay focused. Okay, now that's not true. She even cut off contact outside of school hours during exam week. But she did see me during the day, and she told me more than once that the morning one was the only thing she looked forward to during exams. So maybe it's not that much of a lie. Oh, you are really smart today. Well, kind of. More or less. Well, I give you that you're catching up. You're catching up to my thoughts. That's a great thing. It's a great thing that he's catching up to my thoughts. Either way, to hear that being around has helped even a little, makes me feel a bit better. Amy's mother raises an eyebrow at this statement. Either she doesn't believe Amy, or she is as surprised as I am. Well, then it appears that it's a good... Well, what? I forgot her voice again. Well, then it appears that it's a good thing you two have become so close. I tell you to take good care of my daughter, Hiso, but it looks like you're already doing that. Amy grins at this and seems to take pride in my having managed to ingratiate myself with her mother so easily. Actually, I say your daughter's been the one taking care of me. She's gotten me out and running. I've probably been more active since meeting her than I ever was even before. I'd actually never thought of it that much, nor had I ever appreciated the humor in it. I wasn't too active before the heart attack. Pickup games of soccer don't really count since they weren't that common. So now that I know for sure that I have a weak heart, now I run every day, pushing my luck with the help of my medication. I chuckle quietly, then realize that I never finished my sentence. Well, before I had my heart attack and wound up at school here. Oh, what's wrong? It comes out so casually. There was a time that I would have thought twice about talking about what was wrong with me at all. But now? Now it just seems silly to care, especially in the company of Amy and her mother. If Amy can be cavalier about her disability, then so can I. I think back to the track meet, where Amy declared herself the fastest thing on no legs. The fact of her obvious loss has never seemed to bother her, at least not in public. Being stuck in the wheelchair frustrated her, I know, but even that was something she dealt with on her own, despite my efforts to the contrary. Amy has a way of bringing out the more active side in people. I've never quite figured out how she does it. Well, you look in quite good shape, so... Those puppy dog eyes, she gets for starters. Oh yeah, of course. I'm not surprised that she managed to rope you into an exercise routine. If Rin weren't just as stubborn as she is, I'm sure that Amy would have gotten her out and running with you too. Oh, that reminds me, Rin says hello. I drift to the outer edges of the conversation again as we move into the dining room to eat. It smells delicious in here, and the spread that Amy's mom has produced is impressive. Wow, you've made enough to feed an army in here. Is it too much? Well, you can always take some leftovers with you when you go. That sounds great! I can only handle cafeteria food for so long. Something home-cooked would be a welcome change of pace. What he said. Thanks, Mom. The food tastes as good as it smells, and there's a lull in the conversation while we all dig in. Amy assaults her plate with the usual amount of gusto, and I will admit that I set a pretty fast pace myself. So, Hiso. Oh, look at this face! So, Hiso, I heard that you and my daughter here have gotten rather close. No, you don't want to know that. The urge to say something like, not really, is so strong that I open my mouth to say it, but then we assert control. We are close, there's no getting around it. I mean, Amy's brought me here, hasn't she? Fortunately, both Amy and her mother seems to take my reaction as a sign that I'm caught off guard rather than considering saying something cruel. I suppose we have. I blame the morning ones myself. You make it sound like a bad thing, Hiso. Oh, you make it sound like a bad thing. Well, I for one found it a relief. Why's that? Amy's always been a popular girl, but never made many close friends. This is a bit of news to me. I've always seen Amy chatting with her classmates in the hallways. And certainly, the whole track team seems to love her. But it's true that she chooses to isolate herself during lunch with Win and me. Not exactly the thought of behavior one expects from a popular girl after all. Then again, I've experienced her unwillingness to get close firsthand, so I can't say that I'm that surprised. And she let you get close, so... You are closer to her than anyone ever managed, and you still complain. I was beginning to have my doubts. Amy rolls her eyes to the ceiling and grumbles something. I can't quite make out. Huh? What? What's that you just said? Nothing. Oh. Mrs. Iwawasaki chokes on her drink with laughter. Wait, what? You've been hanging around with the nurse too long, Amy. I'm going to have to talk to him about corrupting my daughter. Somehow I don't think that would be very effective. Oh God, the grin! This mischievous grin in her face! Oh, I just read the line. I learned most of it from you anyway, not the nurse. Don't listen to her, she's a born liar. Oh, you're a little wild thing too, aren't you? Yeah, right. Oh, I don't know, Amy. Think your mother has a point. What? You traitor! You're supposed to take my side in this. Yeah, but... but you did lie about your leg after the Ow! A kick in the shins from an unmistakably plastic foot cuts me off, but not before Miss Iwawasaki's eyebrows shoot upwards. What about your leg? It wasn't a big deal, that's all. I just was, in a wheelchair for a bit. That last few mumbled words are quickly deciphered by Amy's mother. I suspect she has experience with this sort of thing. And a worried frown appears on her face. Wait, what was it? Wait. I want to see something. What? Amy rolled her eyes to the ceiling, grumbled something I can't quite make out. Oh, wait. Huh? This is strange. Okay. Okay. Appears on her face. With this sort of thing. Oh, sorry that I quite halted it here. What's that? So that's why he kept dodging my calls. Oh, the nurse. Oh, Amy, I know how much you hate being in a wheelchair. No wonder you've been in such a mood lately. Yes, she's much happier on her fits, so to speak. Well, of course. She spent enough time in a chair just after the accident. She didn't get prosthetics immediately? No, she had to finish healing up before they'd let her start the sort of therapy you've got to go through to adjust to those things. Especially since she wanted to run on them. I had no idea. Yeah, it sucked. Oh, did you see Wynn's mule at the festival? Amy's sudden change of topic makes me realize, validly, that she's been fidgeting the whole time her mother and I have been talking. I should have figured out on her being a little skittish when it comes to talking about the accident, even around her mother. No, I didn't make it out to the festival, remember? Although I caught a glimpse of it at your track meet, it seemed pretty weird to me. I think that's more or less what she was going for. She talked a lot about being dreamlike, or trying to make it dreamlike. Wynn's art is one of those things I don't think I ever understand. That's not surprising. I don't think Wynn expects to be understood. She told me once that art allows people to understand stuff they wouldn't understand otherwise, but all the same, she doesn't think it actually works that way. I'm surprised that Amy talks about this with Wynn extensively enough to actually have Wynn's opinion, such as it is. Although I expect that Wynn could not, if she were so inclined, say the same thing about Amy's. Unless, of course, Amy is purposely keeping me in the dark about everything, which is likely, but unpleasant to think about. I drift down this unpleasant train of thought for a while, losing track of the conversation. Hey, Amy, I've been meaning to ask. Huh? Are you going to visit your father this year? Oh. From the way she says it, you'd think Amy's mother was talking about the weather. From the way Amy reacts, it's clearly not the weather they are talking about. She flinches, a slight jerk of the head backwards, if she's just been slapped in the face. Hiso, did you catch the train in your face? Did you catch it this time? Yeah? Did you? Can we talk about this later? Her voice sounds brittle, strained. It looks as if she's been severely shaken by the question. It seemed that Mrs. Iwasaki misjudged just how close Amy and I are. Some things, it seems, are best not conversed about with me around. Her father is one of these things. The accident that took her legs is probably another one of those things. If her reaction to the earlier conversation between her mother and myself is an indication. It doesn't take Amy's mother long to realize she screwed up. Of course we can, dear. I'm sorry to bring it up. I just wanted to ask so I could make plans. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Amy fidgets nervously, as if embarrassed by her own reaction. I confess that her reaction is confusing. She only just mentioned her father to me earlier today, less than a few hours ago even. Why does a simple question about when she'll visit her father cause such a strong reaction? Unless whatever serenity she claimed to have reached by means of our talk the previous evening has suddenly evaporated. Wait. She claimed to have reached by means of our talk the previous... Or it didn't help as much as she thought or claimed. I'll be right back. Gotta visit the little girl's room. Oh, she has to cry. Amy gets up suddenly and leaves the table, leaving me and Mrs. Ibarasaki alone. Alright, I'm going to leave this episode here. I hope you enjoyed it so far. I, for a change, enjoyed most of it, even though it took a dark turn by now. And I hope you liked it too, and you can show it to me by hitting this little like button. And I hope I will see you in the next episode. Stay tuned.